In 1989, Channel 7 conducted a poll of who was the best footballer in the past quarter of a century. Ahead of such legends as Bob Skilton, John Nichols, Alex Jezelenko, and Ian Stewart. The experts chose Leigh Matthews. They didn't vote on who was the toughest or the most aggressive or the most dominant, but Matthews would have won those too.
This is the hand pass, looking for Matthews, Sutton following his hammer. Leigh Matthews looking for someone to give it to, there's no one there. Matthews will have to go around himself, he goes around three players. Lines up the goal, beautiful play, Leigh Matthews.
Luther was a nickname penned by commentator Lou Richards when Leigh Matthews was just 19 years of age, but already on his way to a unique place in the story of football. The nickname stuck because during 340 games for Hawthorn, Matthews virtually used his body as a battering ram.
As deep the Leigh goes to, he can't pick it up, and he won't give it, he's got it again, he gets down, and they're going after the Collingwood players, but look, he won't give
With the
it.
uncompromising build of a front-end loader and the aggression of a pocket battleship, Matthews was renowned for his absolute commitment to winning.
His ability to keep the eye on the ball all the time, yes, he dealt out a fair bit in his time, but regardless of what was coming, if he was in the wrong position, he'd still stand his ground and keep his eye on the ball, and that to me is true courage.
When I was young, I didn't think I could get hurt. I really didn't think I could get hurt. I mean, to put my head down and get a knock on my head to earn a free kick was an absolute easy price to pay. Didn't even think about it. I'd be happy to do that.
In a career spanning 17 years, Matthews won 8 Hawthorn Best and Fairest trophies, played in 7 grand finals, including 4 premierships, was captain for 5 years, and a hero to a generation of Hawthorn players.
He was my hero, still is my hero, and the only thing wrong he's ever done to me is that he went to Collingwood.
A team sportsman is judged on how much he contributes to the team's success. Nothing more, nothing less. Absolutely that.
Oh, the post is broken, Matthews hit it.
The day he broke the point post has passed into football folklore. But sadly, his aggression sometimes went too far, and the Bruns incident of 1985 will remain the deepest regret of Matthews' career.
I shudder every time I see it. I mean, but you know, like you know, it's something I wish had never happened. I mean, I've never said anything to the contrary of that. But it did happen. You can only sort of live with it and say, well, I did it. Took the punishment, I think.
The punishment he took and handed out we'll review later as we detail the illustrious playing career of Leigh Matthews. But to set the scene, this is the Matthews of the 90s, coach of Collingwood Football Club, whom he led to the AFL Premiership in 1990.
The only thing you've got as a coach is the team performance. You've got nothing else. I mean, that's all you got. The team plays well. You feel like you've achieved part of your responsibility, and therefore, when the Collingwood Premiership, the moment about the 26-minute mark of the 1990 Grand Final, when I accepted in my own mind that we were going to win, was my greatest thrill in football.
Keep at him, Richard. Keep it out. Oh, keep your feet! Bloody... Tell Alan Richardson to keep his feet. Like he's forcing him to the boundary line, all he has to do is keep his feet. Right, put Brown back on road here, right? Brown back on road and Watson out to the far wing, all right? Go for on the stretch, Krasinski won't go near him.
The coach's box at the Melbourne Cricket Ground on a winter's Saturday afternoon is a bubbling cauldron of intensity. In Leigh Matthews' face, you can see the pressure of coaching in Australia's toughest football competition. And today, against traditional rival Melbourne, Coach Matthews is making desperate moves to turn the conflict from defeat to victory.
Right, now swap them over. Get Gaither back onto Grinter and Krasinski up onto Obbs.
They steadied a bit, Melbourne. Collingwood were getting well on top and looked like going past them, and Melbourne have certainly steadied and playing pretty good football at the moment. On the ordinary kick, Ronnie McEwen, a very poor kick, in fact.
Go and tell Ronnie McEwen, will he kick, drop punts and go to height? Now, how many times does he have to be told? Who did I know he was kicking it to? He goes to Monkhurst or he goes to McCartney, long.
This exciting full forward will kick from 45 metres directly in front. The crowd is hushed. There's the kick from Jakovic. It's a goal, all right through the middle. So Melbourne kick clear once again. They're certainly steady at 11-4.
Though his face contorts and grimaces as Collingwood sinks to defeat this day, Matthews' commands are as direct and decisive as the orders of any general.
In fact, get Rocker off again and put Monkhurst down into the goal square. All right?
He calls football a make-believe war, and it is the battle that Leigh Matthews lives for. As Collingwood's coach, and as the player whose body was built like a pocket battleship, and whose durability surrendered only to time and never to an opponent, though he was a rover, traditionally the smallest player on the field, Matthews the Warrior could rough it with the biggest, and often came out on top. And around the goals, he was deadly.
Matthews, taken by Leigh Matthews, a left-foot snap, and he's put it through.
Chance for Hawthorn. Matthews coming out with the ball. It was being held. He springs back now with a left foot snap and goal. The umpire says it's all clear.
A chance for Matthews. The paper's there, and Clemens unloaded to try to pick it up. Picked up and snapped by Matthews. Have a look at it. It's a beautiful goal. Up towards centre half order. Chance for the spoil. The ball punched away to Matthews.
Well
spun
done.
out of trouble beautifully. Kicks to the open goal. Is it through? It's on its way. And it bounces right through the middle.
Up towards the pocket. Kane is there. Couldn't get the run of it. A chance here for Leigh Matthews. Leigh Matthews, cool as a cucumber, shoots. Puts it through.
But the nickname Lethal came not from his sharp shooting, but was bestowed on him after the then 19-year-old flattened Barry Cable during a state match in Perth.
Round of West Australia goes Matthews. Be a free kick against Matthews, and Cable goes down.
Matthews dealt and received some severe physical punishment in an era when the high-arm tackle was part of the game. Off the playing arena, he was anything but aggressive. But in the contest, he involved every part of himself, mind and body, and his commitment to winning never wavered. His approach was as straightforward as his candour in talking about it.
To me, it was almost the most important thing, and you know, therefore, whatever price you had to pay in terms of discomfort on the field and being ruthless, I suppose, you know, winning and performing well was, I suppose, overrode my morality, if I could even put it that way. I mean, I used to feel terribly guilty about some of the things I used to do on the field on the spur of the moment, but kind of it was born out of the will to kind of succeed, and almost whatever price had to be paid, I'd pay it.
Towards Nobody can take the mark again. Matthews hit
The ball quickly taken by Trott. Oh, what a shot.
the Blues. Carlton.
last year's Premier side, and over goes Trevor Keogh at the first bounce. Leigh Matthews going down, number 53 is Leigh Matthews. Going towards Matthews. Matthews takes it, walks back, he's broken away from that tackle with strength. And look at this kick from Matthews!
From the very first, Leigh Matthews was serious about becoming a champion footballer. As a schoolboy, when he represented Victoria, and as a wide-eyed youngster when big Carl Dietrich came to the boys' pie night. But believe it or not, he was very small and lightly built, and he remembers once in a game against Hastings being intimidated by a larger, stronger opponent.
I had a very frightening day, I must say. I was playing half-forward flank as a 16-year-old, and there was another kid playing for Hastings, who I think was probably only 17 or 18. He wasn't exactly an adult himself. He was kind of terrorising me all day, like, you know, go near the ball and I'm going to belt you on, that kind of thing. I don't know whether I ever learnt the lesson, but I maybe in retrospect I felt that if there was going to be a victim and an aggressor, I think it was much better to be the aggressor.
Leigh was never a child in my, you know, he grew up too quick, I think, you know, because he, you know, like Cal enjoyed his football.
The Matthews family of Chelsea, a Melbourne Bayside suburb, has 3 sons, the oldest Russell, and 2 who played VFL football, Leigh and Kelvin. The youngest, Kelvin, played 98 games for the Hawks. But it was Leigh whose competitive streak overrode his childhood, who from a very early age displayed a bitter distaste for failure.
And the ball is shot for goal by his brother Kelvin. I think it could be a goal.
He liked to win, yeah. Did he?
At anything. Ludo, anything. And tennis, Leigh had to be to win all the time.
What if he didn't?
He cheated. Well, he did it.
You're saying that?
When he was
You're
little.
saying that?
Well, he did too. I've told the grandchildren about him. Yeah, oh, he's not playing anymore, he says.
Ray Matthews coached Frankston and Langwarrin, and the boys were built in his mould.
I can never remember when I wasn't involved in footy, to be honest. One of my really early childhood memories is my dad doing the stab kick with the old big round football and me marking it on my chest, and I can almost still feel the thud of the ball on my chest. I mean, that's almost the earliest memory of my life.
So promising was young Leigh that when he was selected for Victoria, the St Kilda club kindly gave him £7 towards his expenses.
I have pleasure in advising that my club has forwarded £7 to the manager of the team to be used as your parents and the manager think fit. Trust you have an enjoyable trip. Yours faithfully, I.A. Drake, Secretary, St Kilda Football Club.
How unfortunate for the Saints that the Matthews boys joined the club they were zoned to, Hawthorn, and Leigh quickly made the first of literally hundreds of headlines.
There's the throw in now in the forward pockets coming down toward Crimmins. He has a chance, he's in trouble though, it's picked up here. A shot for goal by Matthews. Ray Wilson with a bit of pace, and now a lot of football knowledge, turning away from the centre wing, kicking down to Matthews. Matthews winning the ball, and now going goalward, looking for Hudson. No, it's through. He's kicked it himself.
Ball being punched away, comes to the ground. A chance for Keddy for the hand pass to Marr. A good one too it was, under pressure. Marr in turn gets it back towards Matthews. Matthews with a long shot at goal. It's right through the centre. And another badly needed goal to Hawthorn.
The centre half forward, middle Matthews can't quite guess. He does.
He nearly got sandwiched then by 2 North Melbourne players, but he came out with the ball.
To Keddy. Keddy kicks it to Matthews. Matthews got in front of him, but there's Charlie Payne. He dodges nicely around Payne, picks the ball up, fires for goal, and it's all clear.
Kicking toward the stand end. The kick from Grummage, not a long one. Matthews flying and taking the mark.
Starting with Hawthorn, in the same year was a boy from a Gippsland dairy farm named Peter Knights.
Matthews swings the ball down towards Merrington right in the score, but he spills the crucial one. Knights comes out with it, hooks it over the shoulder.
Up towards centre half forward, chipping in for a nice mark there was Matthews. He spins round onto the right foot, goes for the short pass to Hudson, and that's beautiful play.
When Peter Hudson first saw Matthews' waddling walk, Hudson likened him to Barney Rubble of the Flintstones cartoon, and the tag stuck. He was Barney to the Hawks and lethal to everyone else.
Forward, and Wood coming through, picked up by Leigh Matthews. He runs around, brings it back towards the goal. Coming down towards his brother Leigh Matthews, and Matthews breaking through the pack, gets a hand pass back to Crimmins. Crimmins snaps at goal, it could be good.
Matthews became second rover to the great Peter Crimmins. They were two physical opposites, but they shared an absolute commitment and a fierce loyalty to their coach, John Kennedy.
Free kick against Matthews.
Davis, right on the half-board. Matthews gets a warning and a 15-yard penalty.
I think anyone who played under John, who's been involved in with John, would have, I suppose, been impressed by his ability as a football coach, but more than that, just his standing as a man, just the the principles that he lived and he preached to us on teamwork and putting the team before the individual, and the work ethic and never taking things for granted. All those things were just fantastic lessons, I think, that were pushed into us as young players. So I think to have John Kennedy as a coach in your formative years in league football, it was just kind of a fantastic advantage.
This is Michael Williamson at the MCG in Melbourne, welcoming you to the 1971 Grand Final, St Kilda versus Hawthorn. The umpire is Peter Shields. David Parkin of Hawthorn won the toss, and the Hawks are kicking down to the Richmond end. Hawthorn now going forward, down towards Hudson. Oh, a bit lucky to get out of that, St Kilda. Hudson got it in the back, but he kicks down and he kicks through.
The 1971 Premiership, often remembered for Peter Hudson's attempt to break the all-time goal-kicking record, was to be the first of 4 premierships for the ambitious young Matthews. He was 19 and hungry.
Matthews always a long way out. 65 yards. There's Hudson in the goal square. Neil behind him. Lawrence in front of him. It's a big kick. Don't tell me he's put it through. Oh, beautiful. The ball has bounced. Martello of Hawthorn drives him forward. Hudson comes in there. The ball escapes him, however. Through comes little Crimmins. Crimmins has it. He's running into an open goal. He kicks. He's put it through. That's his second. Just on 5 minutes.
Up they go. Scott gets it over the back. Wilson and comes out to Bremner. Bremner kicks it wide and Matthews comes in, takes the mark and now plays on. Drives the ball round towards Maher. There's Maher, traps the ball. Swings it in towards the goal square. It's going over the top of his foot. Hudson, 15 yards out.
Will he get it?
On a slight angle.
You want to see
able to kick the goal.
Bobby, the police moving into position all round the boundary here. Hudson has got 3. He's equal Bob Pratt's record of 150. Will he put this one through? How he must feel. Oh, he's no more than 8 yards out. He should kick it. Up he comes. He kicks. Oh! Taken by Crimmins. Crimmins gets a hurried kick forward. Taken by Matthews. Matthews a hand pass to Hudson. Hudson going for a run. He steadies. He kicks. Oh my God, he's missed it. Oh, look at him. The sun comes out as the ball hits the ground and Heath sends it back to the wing position. Siren goes. Siren goes. Hawthorn are premiers. 1971. Hawthorn are premiers, and the final scoreboard here reads, let's have a look at it, as John Kennedy is being hugged.
I mean, I had a fairly severe hunger to play and to be better. And so, I mean, it was really only the start for me, I think. I don't really felt it was the pinnacle of a career at an early age. It was just a step along the way, I think. I always felt I was fairly much in the here and now in all my time in football. I mean, I kind of thought, well, you know, you wanted to make each season a little bit better than the last one.
So far in the first term, we're 10 minutes into this quarter, and there's Matthews in front, taking the mark in front of O'Connell, playing on towards Des Maher. He comes in on the left foot, Maher, and it looks good from here.
He had vice-like hands, and I mean his thighs. Really, I suppose he was built like more like a sumo wrestler, wasn't he? In some ways, yet he had this great agility. And as I say, he could read a game and turn a game. He'd bump a player out of the position and have kicked the goal and have his hands on the hips, sort of saying, well, when's the ball coming down again, without any emotion. Totally professional.
It's going to be very, very valuable indeed. The scores will be close all day, I imagine. The way the football's being played is very scrambly, very rugged and tough stuff. Here's Matthews coming in for Hawthorn, snapping a goal from 45 yards out. Wayne Richardson with the ball, and he gets a push in the back. And there's Leigh Matthews has caught one.
John Kennedy always used to say to us as a very young players, always get up. And I think I'd get up even if I was unconscious. You know, like I'd have to be absolutely unconscious, otherwise I'd get to my feet.
Limped off.
win up the race there. Could have been Leigh Matthews. So Goda's on for Hawthorn. They've got their 19th and 20th men on. There's Leigh Matthews in the race. He must be in a bit of trouble.
John Kennedy was the first of only 3 coaches in 16 years. Kennedy, David Parkin and Alan Jeans each led Hawthorn to 2 premierships. All 3 remain amongst the elite of modern-day tacticians.
And when I was under John, I was the sort of teenager, early 20s. I think I played my best football under David, because whether that was David or the fact that I was in the kind of prime of my career, as it were. And when Jeansy came, I probably knew more about football mentally, you might say, but the old body was wearing out a bit on me. My football thinking on the way the game should be played is undoubtedly been influenced more by Jeansy than the other 2 coaches. And I think that's partly because as I say, being on the match committee, I got much closer to what he, to his feelings and his philosophies. And I'm sure my coaching philosophies, as it were, are based, if you could separate it, more on the 5 years I was under Jeansy probably than maybe the previous 10 years under Parko and John.
Tremendous. Up it goes now. Ball having a go. There's Lethal Leigh going for a shot at goals. He doesn't miss. There. Beautiful goal.
Up towards a half-forward flank. A race for the ball. It's Leigh Matthews in front. Cowden's after him. Leigh Matthews loses possession, quickly regains it. The ball taken away by Cable of North Melbourne. He's going for that bit of a run. Cable kicks it over the centre. Up goes Malcolm Blyton, takes the mark, plays on immediately. The siren goes. Hawthorn have won it. Hawthorn have won the 1976 Grand Final.
Through the 1970s, Hawthorn won flags in 76 and 78. And Matthews' personal reputation grew with every game and every goal.
Glendinning, here's a chance for Matthews. Can't get there. Now he shoots the goal and puts it through.
But he's clear, and a hand pass coming over to Rodney Eade, even though it's a bit long. It bounces the right one, another one coming back, and we see the ball driven up that time by D. Pierre Domenico. Matthews, a magnificent mark. A very strong one indeed.
Matthews has lifted his game in this quarter.
He has. He's kicked he's kicked 2 goals for the game, hasn't he? Or,
he has, Lou,
2 for the game, and he's going for now for his 3rd one, only about 20 metres out. And he's put it through. That's a very handy goal indeed by Matthews.
Payton was it? He missed it anyway. Got it back to Eade. Eade in turn clear of Schimmelbusch on this occasion, driving it forward Matthews. And Ross Henshaw, his opponent, can't believe it. And I think he's done a pretty good job on Matthews, especially in the first half, Henshaw. Very hard job to do.
Tell you what, Matthews has started to become a force this quarter, Peter.
So is Martello, Lou. That shot for goal is right through the middle by Matthews. That's goal number 4 to Leigh Matthews, and he joins Phil Baker as the leading goal scorer of the game so far. Crowd coming to life again. Scott and Nolan in the ruck. Scott winning that tap out, looking for Matthews, who picks it up on the run. Matthews fires the ball deep into attack for Hawthorn. Knights breaks away. He's going to have a shot for goal, I think, Peter Knights, and that should look it up.
And I'd say that it's Hawthorn's premiership for 1978.
There it is. Hawthorn are premiers in 1978, and there's John Scott. He's going to give a present to somebody in the crowd. Hawthorn have won their 4th VFL premiership, defeating North Melbourne. There's Richard Walter. The final scores at the MCG. Hawthorn 18-13, 121, defeating North Melbourne 15-13, 103.
In 75, he topped the VFL goal kicking with 68, and he strung together 3 successive club best and fairest. In the make-believe war, Lethal Leigh was a gladiator.
Oh, talk about a he-man. There was that, he split it right down in half. A fantastic effort by Leigh Matthews.
Matthews gathers the ball in before the boundary line, gets around his opponent, gets around another one, the best in it, that's where, there's a champion in action.
For Matthews, such hot on his hammer. Leigh Matthews looking for someone to give it to, there's no one there. Matthews has to go around himself, he goes around 3 players. Right at the goal! Beautiful play, Leigh Matthews. Matthews gets clear of Austin, but he's on a bad angle. Snaps the goal. That's a great goal, Leigh Matthews.
Matthews got the hands but can't take the mark. He dives in, but that was acrobatic stuff. He dives in, then the left foot step towards goal. Oh, what a great passage of football.
Matthews! Yes, what a mark. Matthews in the back. What a grab from the skipper.
And he's getting old. He's about 33 years of age. I don't know how he got up that high.
Kick up there for Matthews to come out. He's in front of Blackwell. He's got to get that pass to him. They both fall over. Let's give him a chance to score a goal. And he does. Oh, look at the check. That's goal number 6.
He's got him again. He gets down. And they're going after the Diamond player. But he won't give in. He will not give in, Patrick. In trouble there. That's too high, though. A snap shot by Leigh.
Little Langford couldn't pick it up. Matthews has got it now. Number 7. If he's accurate, he's got it, I think. 7 goals for Barney.
By the mid-70s, Matthews was the most valuable and most sought-after player in the Victorian Football League. And frustrated by what he felt were Hawthorn's relatively low payments to players, he approached the club for what he felt he was worth. After a brief standoff, he stayed with the Hawks.
I ended up settling and staying at Hawthorn for $40,000 per year. For I think it's probably $79.80 or something like that. But it was interesting. I think I was offered, I think $75,000 was the highest offer that was available through my solicitor, but you had to get a clearance for that. Well, I don't know, that was not going to happen, I wouldn't have thought. And $60,000, I mean, it was a bit of a...
Who from?
I think Essendon actually was the one that had suggested that figure. Carlton, I think, had suggested $60,000. I mean, I wasn't doing the direct negotiation personally.
Matthews was a champion, and in being fair, probably he was underpaid. And he jolted us, and Matthews very fairly decided that our offer was reasonable. He didn't expect to be paid as much as he was offered to go to Melbourne, and that would have been over our dead body anyway, but at the time he probably was justified in seeking more money.
Did you, as the supporters would say, love the Guernsey?
I think that loving the Guernsey is a very much overrated thing. I think it is respecting and it's respect for the people you're involved with rather than the Guernsey. I mean, loving the Guernsey intimates that loyalty is built up over a long period of time, and I've always believed loyalty comes from within the person rather than the cause that you're representing.
In football, you know, a lot of people get false reputation, but there was no false reputation about Leigh's courage.
Deep out on the half-forward flank, a lead and a good one in front, Matthews. Fowler arriving late. He bounds up straight away, lines up from 35 metres out. And there's number 5.
Lining up for goal number 3 this quarter, for goal number 6 for the match. Shouldn't make any mistake about this at all. There it is. So Hawthorn go further ahead. Leigh Matthews. There's the kick, no doubt about it at all. The umpire didn't even move. 7 goals for Leigh Matthews. What's Goss? Goss looking for Matthews. Out on that half-forward flank. Matthews is there. And a mark. Leigh Matthews already kicked 7 goals. He's about 50 metres out, though. Going for the torpedo punt.
This round against Melbourne in 1981 was the first in which Jeans coached Matthews. The pocket battleship blasted a VFL goal-kicking record for a rover.
Now it's a goal. Brilliant goal by Matthews. Goal number 8. Goad, a short pass out to Matthews. Look at that. Brilliant play by Goad. Over to Matthews.
I hate to say it, Doug, but they don't need a full forward.
No, they don't. Well, he's actually playing in that position as he kicks his 9th. Now for Matthews, has already kicked 9 goals and he's out in front. This could be goal number 10. What a brilliant player is Matthews. Not wasting any time either. Lining up. He's kicked 9 goals, 2. 10 goals, 2. Thank you very much. Eade. Looking there for Matthews. Matthews in the front position. Oh, beautiful mark by Matthews. He's got one. Big smile. He's saying, what about a 15-metre penalty? Have a look at that. His blood streaming down his face. But he's lining up for goal number 11.
I wonder what it'd be worth on the open market, Doug.
Well, he'd be the highest paid in the business. Look at that. No doubt about it at all. It's a goal. 11 goals for Leigh Matthews.
Fantastic play. He'd be the best player I've seen, and he didn't whinge when he copped it, and he umpire's decision, things like that. He was just a fair, honest player.
Once he ran over that white line, I don't think there was anybody fiercer than him in his efforts to try and win, and particularly when I was there, he was captain of the side. And I suppose leading into the 1983 final series, he really became a leader on that particular day. He was so keen to be a premiership captain, and the way he went about it, and he was a great example to the players.
When he took over captaincy of Hawthorn, he didn't have to say much, but when he put us in the huddle, he just looked at us, and you know that if you let him down the football field, that you've let the whole team down.
And I think I said it to our team before the 1983 grand final as we were gathering to go onto the field. And it just occurred to me, I said, don't feel nervous, this is our thing, we're born to do this, you know. We're born to go out there and perform this game in front of all these people. That's what all of us do better than anything else in our lives, probably.
Covered by Watson. Spinning out of the pack is Matthews. There's strength for you. And look at the champ go as he fires at the goals. He won't make the distance.
Judge into full forward. Matthews is there! Matthews, 30 metres out. And a goal. Birdie's got it.
Making a lot of fundamental mistakes, the Bombers at the moment, Bob.
Yes, but Hawthorn not able to capitalise on it so far. They might this time as Matthews takes the mark.
Matthews some 35 to 40 metres out from goal. What's he done with that one? Judging by the crowd, it's a goal. On to Mew. Streaming downfield, looking for Matthews. From the skipper.
And he's getting old. He's about 33 years of age. I don't know how he got up that high.
He had a help from the shoulder of Carey. That's how.
The grand final mark so far, isn't it?
I'll guarantee when he got up that high, he was saying to himself, how the heck am I going to get down now?
He's kicked 3. He's missed that one, has he? Or is it through? It's a goal. Good kick from Wallace, looking for Matthews. Hurd, beautiful one-hander, just not completing it enough. Matthews, a shot at goal. That's a jam! Lethal's done it. 5 goals to Matthews.
They're just falling apart, Aston. They just feel as though they're not out there, don't they?
It looks that way at the moment.
This is a perfect example. Kink was 30 metres away and made no attempt to get to the play.
Matthews got one. You never guess who it is. He's gone again.
Oh, golly, I don't know about this one. What do you reckon, Bob, about that?
I don't think Leigh's too concerned.
No, the one that downed Terry Wallace, which was not a reportable incident earlier, looked far more severe than that.
Roger Merritt disgusted with the report, but still it's going in the book and you can't do much about that.
So that's 4 reports.
And there's no doubt about Matthews going for goal number 6, and that's why he's the champ.
Well done,
15 metres. This really makes him the champion that he is. When the big occasions come along, Pete, he just lifts himself right to the top, doesn't he?
5 goals to Matthews and a chance to make it number 6. 6 goals to Matthews.
So at the 30-minute mark, we see the score. There's Bissell. There's their coach, Alan Jeans, and what a happy man. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. One of the most popular coaches with the media and with everybody concerned with football. The players are just elated, Peter. And I know that Peter Landy, deep down in his own heart, that's our co-commentator here, or our host of the show here, has a little feeling towards Hawthorn, and there must be a lump in your throat too, Pete.
Got some very generous odds from Essendon supporters during the week too. At 6-4, Lou, it's beautiful.
And there's Alan Jeans receiving the handshakes and the congratulations from the people concerned. Bob, it's a great feeling. And of course, Hawthorn are premiers for 1883.
It's funny, you know, I hate to be cocky, but winning by that much sometimes spoils it, you know, because you know it's coming and that, you know, they're sort of getting used to it the whole quarter. But our fellas today, they put their heart and soul into the game and just ran the fellas off their feet, and you know, I was just proud to lead them.
The medallion and the Premiership Cup for 1983 to the captain of the Hawthorn Football Club, Leigh Matthews.
Why have they been successful?
People, just people. The people involved that probably instigated a culture in the 50s, I would say, the John Kennedys, the Ron Cooks, the Phil Ryans, who were honest men. They were honest men. I think they were competent and they were honest and they had principles. And I think those three things all go hand in hand. If you're not competent, well, you're going to fail. But if you haven't got principles, I think you're going to fail also, because eventually you get found out. You just can't lie your way through. And I think they created something of a culture at Hawthorn.
At 32, Leigh Matthews still gets best on-ground performances. 3 years ago, Barassi ranked the league's toughest rover in the $500,000 category. Now, in the twilight of his career, he's still a priceless commodity in the football marketplace. At Hawthorn today, the memories came flooding back on the eve of his 300th game.
It's funny, in the mail this morning I got the back page of The Sun. A lady had sent in to me that must have come across it, that was a picture of me before my first game against North Melbourne, here at Glenferrie Oval back in 1969, and you know, it sort of, that did bring back the memories. It was just coincidence, I think, that she happened to send it in on that time.
Robertson to Moore on the parking lot.
And good play on the part of the Hawthorn defence. Matthews again as he drives the ball down to the half-forward on the good mark, and a good pass there to Brewer. Hanson grabs the ball, but he's grabbed that time by DPN a minute ago. Now it's Matthews spinning out of the plaque, playing his 300th game over to
In the 17 years that he played, the game changed. Its style, its speed, even the rules. But Matthews changed with the game, even improved with it. And he thrived on the fierce rivalries. The fiercest of all in the mid-80s was Hawthorn's frequent finals against Essendon.
It's a goal, that's Matthews at his best. Down on the goal square at the other end. But we'll stay with the football for just a moment. Picked up by Chris Mew.
Baker copped a decent one on that one in that incident too.
And Duckworth, that was the evener upper.
But the man Lethal respected most was another football strongman.
Ronnie Andrews always sticks in my mind, because Ronnie was always in my part of the ground. I mean, I was up in the forward line and Ronnie was playing centre-half back, and Ronnie was a pretty wild man, no doubt about that, on the field, and you always knew that if you had your head over the ball that Ronnie's likely to be in the vicinity there somewhere, so I don't know if it affected the way I played, as it were, but I always knew that when Ronnie was around you were in danger.
He was the most fearsome?
I think so, yes. Yeah, I think I'd have to say that. I don't think anyone else really sticks in my mind so much as Ronnie. He was a big, powerful man, and as I say, always often in my part of the ground.
The big fella Leigh Matthews, can he mark it? Oh, it's a free kick for sure. Against Andrews, I would say. No, he's still not the best in the world because he can't stand up too good.
And Ronnie Andrews clapping his hands, and he's got a grin from ear to ear.
Did you ever feel fear?
Towards the end, I think I did, yeah. As I say, when I was young, I didn't feel fear. It just never crossed my mind. As I got older, I knew that, you know, those situations when you had to back into a pack, or the more dangerous parts. I wasn't as gung-ho in my later years, I'm sure, as I was when I was young.
Screws it over the shoulder, covers a fair amount of distance, and a nice mark by Matthews. Never takes his eye off the ball.
Matthews is clear of Thompson. He'll have a shot at goal. He could get this one. He has, and the old champ is really fighting back.
But what took place at Princes Park in 1985 will remain the deepest regret of Leigh Matthews' football life.
Match was a hard-fought battle in every sense of the word. The brawling started in the last quarter when Jacko copped one as he went for a mark and decided to go on with the business. Only a few minutes later, the umpire's notebooks were out again as Jacko was in the thick of it once more.
Oh, boy! Langford.
Then Leigh Matthews decided to live up to his lethal reputation by stopping Geelong's Neville Bruns cold in his tracks. This incident escaped the umpire's attention, but not that of the Geelong players as they swarmed in on Matthews, who received some instant retribution.
That's going on everywhere here.
As Matthews was led bleeding from the ground, Jacko was back again to offer some obviously heartfelt advice. Bruns too had to be taken from the ground with blood pouring from his face.
I can remember the first thing to myself after Brunsy had ran past and I'd sort of struck him. I thought, what did I do that for? You know. And then I thought, oh, they'll be coming. I knew they'd be coming, the Geelong players, and so I just let them come.
Matthews paid dearly for the Bruns incident, not so much in the football arena, where he was suspended 4 matches, but in the public arena, where he was tried and, some say, executed.
Leigh Matthews was one of the central figures in last week's violent last quarter between the Hawks and the Cats at Princes Park. Matthews was involved in an incident with Geelong's Neville Bruns and then clashed with another Geelong player. Bruns suffered a fractured jaw, Matthews a broken nose and concussion. Today, police were on hand at the ABC TV studios to protect Matthews in case of trouble. During the week, the ABC received several phone calls from people saying they would get Matthews when he arrived to take part in today's taping of the footy show. Fortunately, the police weren't needed. Matthews was still sporting the wounds he received in last week's match and was less than happy when fronted by photographers.
You fellas should be ashamed.
Later on the show, Matthews described how he'd been feeling since last Saturday.
Certainly very difficult. I suppose if my life had been the weather this week, last 7 days, been an earthquake, I suppose, is the best way to put it. But there's not, you know, there's very little can be said.
Was that the lowest ebb that your career had reached?
Well, unfortunately, there's matters from last week's match still to be resolved. And in fairness to all parties concerned, I can't make any comments of really much of the events of the last week.
What transpired went way beyond the boundaries of football. Matthews was charged with assault, was convicted in a magistrate's court and fined. Controversy raged over whether police and courts should have interfered in a football incident. And as the bitterness continued, Matthews contemplated turning his back on the game.
Did you feel like getting out of football in the week after that event?
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, I'm very, very glad it was my last year of football. I mean, I'd hate to any player to have to go through that in the early part of your career. Probably might well have decimated your career. I mean, I certainly, when I came back playing after that, it only was for half a dozen games, but I certainly wasn't going near anybody in those, you know, at that stage. And so I mean, I'm very glad it was in the last year of my career, because otherwise I don't know whether you could have played with the same kind of aggression and that was necessary.
The last occasion Matthews played for the Hawks was against the Swans on July 6 and he booted 6 goals. The following Wednesday, the VFLD registered the Hawthorn captain for 3 home and away games, plus the Foster's Cup final. At 33 years of age, a month out of footy is a long time, and Leigh's been working hard to maintain his fitness.
My main extra training has been simply running. I haven't done that much extra on the ground with the balls. It's been so wet and heavy the last few weeks, it's difficult to get a hell of a lot of value from that, but to just try and do a lot of hard running to try and just keep the fitness level up.
I asked Matthews if he was excited about the prospect of playing again.
Yeah, partly that, I suppose, and partly the anxiety of just hoping that the 4 weeks break hasn't done you too much harm. I mean, that's one of those things you never know until the time has passed, probably.
The kick in, caught one too high as he did. Matthews is there, gets around his opponent, and again, Leigh goes towards goal. Full points to Matthews, his third.
Leigh Matthews is back. Just Kennedy again.
Matthews played 6 games after Princes Park War. The 6th, the 1985 Grand Final, was his farewell to playing, to a career in which the umpires had seen fit to award him a total of 200 votes in the Brownlow medal, ironically, without once winning the medal. Matthews' finale, fittingly, was in the Coliseum he loved, the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
And it salutes their captain Leigh Matthews, who today is playing his last game. The two sides have met 36 times since 1970, Hawthorn holding an advantage of 21 to 15. So the stage is set for what I think is going to be a memorable contest.
It'll be a free kick now. The umpire calling play on as Russell Morris drives it out there towards the wing position, the back fly. There'll be plenty of mistakes in this first quarter, and they're having a go again. We tip this will be on for young and old before it's over.
Lager and McCarthy.
Well, they're going in now, and Hawthorn are not taking any funny business today. Look at them going in, piling in there. Players falling over left and right. You pick it up, and you'll find the fighters there.
Matthews and Watson.
Look at them piling up. This is the best I've ever seen in a grand final, Bob. I can't recall.
One like this,
look good. Oh, golly, Peter. Talk about stacks on the mill. You've never seen anything like this. How they'll unravel them, I don't know, Peter.
Well, there could be every player on the ground is involved, and you could book the whole two sides, Bob, couldn't you? You really could book the whole two sides.
Yes, you certainly could, and if they're going to start reporting, they'll be writing for quite a while, so it could be a long quarter.
Brereton's got it again. Can he make it goal number 4? He's gone for a hand pass. Over to Matthews, in the back, surely. That's a goal. Or will it be a free kick?
Free kick to Matthews.
And you've got to give full marks to Matthews. Got the first kick of the match that got Hawthorn going, and he's back there in business again now, Bob.
There's no doubt it was a free kick, Lou. You just cannot tackle in that manner. It wasn't a good tackle by Van der Haar.
Matthews has put it through. Out to the centre wing position. Picked up out there by Russell Morris. Morris has kicked down to half forward, and Matthews, has he taken the mark in front of Carey? He will be painted by the umpire. And Matthews, he'd be a fair way out from goal, 45 to 50 metres. Matthews has scored 1 goal today. We watched that in replay. Juggle.
He copped one too.
Well, he might have paid the free kick. Matthews, will it be his last goal? It won't be a goal, it won't be a score. Foles dispossessed. Brereton, he could get his name in the record books if that's a goal. It is.
Good on him. He's broken the record. 8 goals. That's a fantastic.
Essendon was clearly superior in this final. But the ageing skipper, in his final quarter of playing, actually had more kicks than any of his teammates. And leaving that arena, it was the feeling Matthews would remember for the rest of his days, and always with a deep sense of loss.
Even before the game, you were still an AFL footballer. 3 hours later, you were no longer. And something that I'd wanted to do all my life from the time I could remember died. It was like part of you died, because that was it. You couldn't play anymore. And as I sort of came off the ground, I mean, it was the saddest moment, really almost the saddest moment of my life. To know that something has been so important for you is gone forever is always a very sobering time.
How important was it, footy?
Well, it was the most important. I mean, I feel that it probably was the most important. I mean, I think I put it before almost anything. You try not to, and you don't have to. I mean, you think of did you put it in front of your own family? I mean, your wife and children. I mean, the people who lived with you, and I'm certain my kids, who I hope and believe I've got a good relationship with, really believe that too. That football dominated my whole psyche, and you tried not to allow that to affect how much time you gave to your children, but how much mental energy you gave them. That is something you would question even now.
What was it about footy? Was it the battle?
It was my thing. I think it was my thing. I think compared to the rest of the population, that's what I could do good. That's what I could do well.
Leigh Matthews burst onto the VFL scene in 1969. He retired 16 years later after 340 games, 915 goals, 8 Best and Fairest awards and 4 premierships. This Saturday, when he coaches Collingwood against Geelong, Matthews says he will be starting his career afresh.
It's virtually like a player playing his first game. Past reputations mean for nothing. And yes, I've got to, I suppose, coaches to some degree in the hands of their players, but on the other hand, you know, you've got to make sure that whatever input a coach can have, you're at least fulfilling that role. No, I obviously didn't expect to be senior coach here until next year, but you can't always decide the circumstances under which a job is taken, and I was asked to take over, and I was only too happy and enthusiastic to do it.
Matthews carried his absolute commitment to winning into his new responsibility as coach of the most famous football club in Australia.
This is where it's hard. This is when your legs ache, and however you're feeling, they're aching just as much. We've got a bit of faith. They're wondering, can we pick them up? They're going to be better. We've got to make sure we match that desperation. How long we got? Think about it. Smitty's giving his body. He's got another whack in the glove. He's bled again. 4 weeks in a race. Come on. We're all going to do a show. We don't want nervous Nellies. Cool minds, concentration on the task at hand. All right? Just concentration, controlled aggression. Remember, everyone's getting a little bit tired. It's not really the time.
His single-mindedness stung even the most seasoned players.
Calls a spade, but I think he's always had the respect of the players. Matter of fact, that respect was a bit of fear, I think, earlier days when he first came to the club, because he was such a legend that some of the younger blokes, even myself, I wasn't sure how to sort of confront him about things. But after that, he is very approachable. He can be fiery. He doesn't have to say a lot, though. More of it's, what can I say, body language. He doesn't rant and rave, but when he says something that has got over his jumper a little bit, he'll be very serious about it and very strong.
The Shaw-Matthews leadership was one of the powerful influences in the history that Collingwood made at the Melbourne Cricket Ground in the grand final of 1990.
Look at the gather. The right foot snap. This is a miraculous kick. Unbelievable.
And we have a brawl on the siren, and there always receiving plenty of attention is Kelly. And we thought this had happened very early on, and now they're not mucking around, these guys. And usually this does happen early on in a grand final, not at the quarter-time break. Kick it forward. Well, and there's a fella you can see there, a Collingwood player down. It looks like it's Christian.
There's probably 3 or 4 pockets that have now almost dissolved into one. Players are being thrown everywhere. Towards half forward again. Madden up with the one hand. A clash of bodies. The ball breaks free. It's all Collingwood. Grasiska heads towards goal. A good-looking kick. He's done it. Salmon goes back and tries to get the hand pass back. Can't do so. Russell picks it up. Heads in towards the pocket. Over the head of Thompson it goes. Dacos. This is where he's at his best. The Mustard. Couldn't take it on the half volley. Is solidly met. Wright waits for it. Kerrison, Soccer's clear. Kick it, could be first to it. And caught. Ripped off the football. Breaks to Shaw again. The skipper gives it to Barwick. On into Banks. Dennis Banks caught. Back to Barwick. Doug Barwick shoots and goals. Collingwood are home.
But I think as a coach, the only thing you've got as a coach is the team performance. You've got nothing else. I mean, that's all you got. The team plays well. You feel like you've achieved part of your, part of your responsibility. And therefore, when the Collingwood Premiership, the moment about the 26-minute mark of the 1990 Grand Final, when I accepted in my own mind that we were going to win, was my greatest thrill in football.
Celebrations begin. Alan McAllister and Leigh Matthews. Tony Shaw. He's seen his brother play and lose grand finals. And now he is the champion. Let's go down onto the ground with Michael Roberts.
Absolutely fantastic down here. The feeling is absolutely sensational. All the Collingwood players are around now and they are happy. Tony Shaw.
Michael's got mixed up in the emotion down there.
Oh, well, right at the moment I'm just so pleased for those 20 blokes who've sort of written their name in history and, I don't know, just sort of, what would you call it, just cut down the folklore of Australian sport. You start off, we know we had a good patch during the year, but they've played, the finals are won by the side that plays best in September and they've done it. And they, the 20 of them have just been tremendous.
Is it better as a coach and as a player to win a flag, Leigh?
I don't know whether it matters much. No, I always said to the guys, the 20 blokes that perform, it's them. I mean, everyone else is happy for them. We support them when we can, but they enjoy it the most. They'd be disappointed the most if they didn't win it. There's no replacement for that feeling that those guys have got because they physically earned it. They were just magnificent.
The coach, Leigh Matthews.
When that 32-year drought ended, to the relief of millions of Collingwood fans, Leigh Matthews became as revered as a coach of the Magpies as he had been by Hawthorn supporters as a player. Much as he enjoyed the victory, in retrospect, Matthews is always the hard-nosed pragmatist.
The achievement of winning the 1990 Premiership was good, but it was built out of all proportion. Because we'd broken the kind of 32-year drought, it was deemed to be such a much better effort than it actually was.
The professionalism of Collingwood, indeed all modern-day AFL clubs, makes enormous demands on its players, and particularly its coaches. The coach must be conditioner, motivator, and he must get results. And a day in the life of an AFL coach can be tough on mind and spirit. And in this game against Melbourne, all of Leigh's patience is put to the test. It's an absorbing insight into the toughest job in football.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Simmons at full back. Leeds at centre half back. Gilbert in the back pocket.
Yeah, go and tell Brownie he'll have to take Lovett. Seeing they're trying to tag him, he'll have to take Lovett. And tell Shorey to be aware of what's going on because he'd be the free man. Give it! Oh.
Alan Richardson in towards Christian. At the back, it's a free kick. He was being held. And Michael Christian needs to be found on the floor.
He's got the mark! Oh, that should have been 50 then.
He had good vision of the ball over the top. Clear of Francis.
And run!
The Pies looking for their first score. Down goes Francis after he got rid of the kick.
What about the report?
Matthew Phoebe. Phoebe at Daisy cutting pass and hits Andrew.
Pick up.
Andrew Ox, a booming kick. A magnificent kick by Ox. He's got it.
Well, this is a shell shot. Right, put Brown back on road here, right? Brown back on road and Watson out to the far wing, all right?
Shaw gets the hand pass to Russell. Good to Watson. Long kick on the run by Watson. Moncourse.
Free kick.
Yes. He's not in front.
Then sinister the first gamer, just retarded him, they're pulled to the ground. Good decision by them.
Not a certain goal into a half and a half, maybe.
Moncourse for his second goal. Collingwood making a comeback.
Bring the board out, bring the board out.
He was terrific there. Christian in front. Two-hander. Down to Watson. Bouncing ball to Williams at centre wing. Good enough to get away from Stretch. Good distance for the kick from Williams. Bouncing ball, chance for Rocker. Hand pass to Rowe. He's got the pace. Oh, terrific! Just offline. Gee, that was a good effort though.
It was a great effort.
Good work by Rocker too.
Collingwood edging away at this Melbourne lead. On his own out in the open is Christian. Off the left boot. On his own is
Rather go!
Locked in defence. Move forward. Now should kick a goal.
Oh, he tried desperately to get it. Todd Viney taken away by Francis. Handball straight into the Melbourne play. Collingwood working hard now. Free kick. Had to be a free kick. A bad tackle by Matthew Phoebe.
Centre square, centre square!
McMullen can chip it across the centre of the ground. Shane Watson on his own. He might be brought down. Yes.
Why didn't Fraser tell him?
Now Viney. Now Steins. Steins kicks it out wide. Hopgood's got two Collingwood players to beat. Oh, free kick Hopgood. Bad play Collingwood because they had the numbers.
Hopgood was picking up race the first one.
Get back in there.
Would you tell Shorey to get on, Lovett?
On the mark, the chip pass Glenn Lovett. He can go to Steins.
Would you tell Shorey to play on Glenn Lovett? Play on him!
90 metres forward where it is now.
Well, amazing. So it's a half forward for Melbourne. Francis down in his corner. Kicked away by Tingo. Well done, Tony Francis. On to McMullen. McMullen trying to rug away his court. Hand pass taken by Gilbert.
Why didn't he kick it?
Here's Tingo. Tingo chips it through half forward. Penalty to Goodman.
Get Russell off. Get Russell off and Shaw on.
Defence very high. Punch forward. Goes to Francisco. Feeds it out to Williams. Back to Francisco. His hand pass straight to Viney. And now Melbourne have it. That's unbelievable. Up to Matthew Phoebe. His kick to centre half forward.
So half forward for Melbourne. Can they retaliate with a goal? Oh, well done by Todd Viney on the road. Road has a kick and goal.
to Monkey and tell him he's against non-ruckman down there. He's against little bloke. Thump the thing our way. Just thump it our way. Clench fist and thump it.
Leaving Gavin Brown to take the mark on the behind line. It's 92 to 64.
Go and tell McMullen to play deep in the forward pocket. Deep, right out in the forward pocket, right out, almost to the 50-metre line, out wide. Make it a test of a run with this bloke. Tell Shaw to take Lovett and McGuan to take Obbs and try and run off and try and work off them from that point.
Towards the pocket, Jakovic's got a couple of meters, a terrific mark in front of the back by Gavin and Cisco. They've got to open up that forward line, Melbourne, and give Jakovic more room, Ross. Yes, they do.
Tell Christian he has to push up towards Steins. Let Morph drop in on Watto. Tell him to push up onto Steins. I don't think Robbie McKill's done too bad on him, to be honest. We've got to run. Get Rowe off and Williams on. What's his stats, Cal?
He's at 8 kicks and 6 handballs.
What a Francis.
7 kicks, 5 handballs.
Miles is laughing today, Matthew.
We have all got some thinking to do.
It's galling for a man who prides himself on victory to walk across the ground having suffered defeat. Leigh Matthews is accustomed to winning. He's also very candid about his role and his future.
Is it enjoyable coaching?
No, not enjoyable. Stimulating. Not fun. No one could say it's fun. I mean, I enjoy doing it because you're stimulated by it and it gives you an involvement which you would not otherwise have. But of course it's frustrating. I mean, I know as a coach that I can feel that I can do my job well and we can lose. I can do my job badly and we can win. You know, everybody out there judges a coach on whether the team wins or loses. And that, of course, is completely and utterly unfair and untrue. But who knows? It's a subjective thing. I think you'd love to have a supreme coaching being. You could say, am I doing the best that any person can do? And that's always the question in your mind. Am I doing the best for this group? And there's no one ever there to give you the answer. So it's therefore very frustrating. But it's also stimulating and it gives you the next closest involvement in football when you can't play any longer.
Want to coach for a long time?
No, not really. I don't think of myself as a career coach.
How would you like the player to be remembered?
I think as a player, as a competitor who made the most of what he was born with, or close to it. That's all. I mean, what you're going to be remembered for is not what I want to be remembered for necessarily. It's just what you are, what you've done. The theory of what would I like to be remembered for is irrelevant, because the practicalities are you'll be remembered for everything that you've done.
I'm here to tell you about the fantastic